You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast with your host, Safan. Transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? This is the Highly Evolved Podcast. I'm your host, Safan. You can find me on Twitter and Gap.ai. This is the weekly weekend review where we discuss what's going on in the news in the past week and around the world. All right, let's start off this week in review. But first, I want to say that if you're a socialist justice warrior, liberals, Democrats, socialists, whatever the heck you are, please turn off my channel. You will get triggered. And on that note, let's begin with this first news of last week. Last week was Monday. The first news that break out, the big news, is Kristen Nielsen resigned as the Secretary of Homeland Security, right? And people should know this one coming, because if people are unaware, Kristen Nielsen was she was for open borders originally, right? And she thinks she could handle the task. This is a very high stressful position, right? The borders, and to put a person like this who's for open borders in charge is, I don't know. I would not do it, right? But Trump have, I don't know, half hope in her. And it turns out it was a bad idea. She didn't know what she was doing. She made awful decisions. She was lacking resources. She wasn't assertive enough. She was taking different strategy pattern, think it was right. And Trump ultimately understand this, that she wasn't the right candidate, so he grilled her for it. So I don't know whether it was in the back scene that he grilled her and he asked her to resign, or she would resign on her own willfully. But she ultimately resigned. But reason why is still undetermined. Maybe she's not fit to handle the stress, but she resigned, and the acting secretary, the deputy secretary, is taking over right now. And I hope this guy know what he's doing. But yeah, Kristen Nielsen, I knew from the beginning, because she was a former Bush lackey, right? And everybody know that Bush. I was not a fan of Bush. Everybody knows Bush was in it with the system, right? He's in it. He's in with the deep state, but she came up from him. So I wasn't thrilled when Trump nominated her for this position. The qualification, I don't know, man. She's just sketchy from the beginning, but I'm glad that she's leaving, and hopefully Trump picks somebody else better than her, that's more assertive and more strict. When it comes to the board, you had to be strict with these people. You had to be hard. All right, you can't be soft, sway to your emotions like Kristen Nielsen. But I don't know what's Trump seeing her, but I'm totally glad that she's gone, and hopefully Trump will pick a better candidate than her. And then another news about this that came out probably the same day or the day after was Eric Swalwell. You know who Eric Swalwell? He's a congressman from California. He's a guy that's said there's evidence of collusion, and produce no evidence to show to the people. That said there's collusion with Russia, right? Apparently, this joke of a clown is putting his foot in a race, all right? So he's running for president, which is going to be a dumpster fire. I don't see any chances this guy gonna win, all right? He's just exploiting the moment, but that's the news that he's running, and it's going to be a dumpster fire within the Democratic Party and their campaign, right? They don't know what to choose. No one's aren't agreeing with each other. Look, they're not agreeing with each other, and yet again, they're running on the same platform. You could pick any Democrat platform; it's all the same thing. There's no distinguish among each candidate. Extreme leftist ideology and running on the same platform against Trump, right? The same ideology, same economic plan, same thing, same immigration policy, same thing. How the hell do you distinguish yourself from part? But anyway, Eric Swalwell was running, and segue to that, when it comes to Congress, right? This one was major news. Candace Owens spoke at the Judicial Committee about white nationalism and racism and hate crimes, right? If you haven't seen this, her video went viral. It's the highest rated C-SPAN video out there right now. So she became a superstar after this video. Basically, she came up over there to the House Judicial Committee and chewed out every Democrat that's on the committee, and any Democrat out there, right? She chewed them out, especially Jerry Nadler and Ted Lieu, which is a sorry disgrace for an Asian guy, right? He's a stupid person, right? He tried to paint Candace Owens in a bad light, that she saying that she sympathizes or agree with Hitler, right? When he uses video, a 30-second clip, all cut up, just to make her look bad, without giving Candace Owens the opportunity to defend herself, right? And then he just passed on her and didn't give her anything to say to respond until the next Congress guy asked, like, Ms. Owens, would you like to respond? Then she went back on Ted Lieu, saying that is a narrative that he picked out, sliced and diced, and didn't play the full article, the full question, and shed a bad light on her. And she just proved I can't explain as well as she did. You have to watch the video, right? And not only that, she proved that Jerry Nadler tried to come out of nowhere and try to stick up for Jerry Lieu by saying you cannot say disparaging comment, when it's clearly in the video that Candace Owens did not say anything disparaging. She said that she believed that Congress Lieu, right, believed that black people were stupid. She didn't say that. She didn't say that Congress Lieu is stupid, and Jerry Nadler came out of nowhere and thinking that Candace Owens said that he's stupid. No. And then Candace pointed Jerry Nadler out too. She said that that's not what she said. You did not listen to what I was saying. She said that she think black people are stupid. She didn't say Lieu is stupid. There's nothing disparaging about that. And she just chewed Nadler out and make them look stupid. She just ripped a new hole in the Democratic Party, right? They are so biased, just pour out their hypocrisy, all right? And within that same day or in the same week, right, Gavin Newsom, the more Democratic news, right? These people are freaking retarded. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, if you don't know who he is the governor of California, right? Picked to run the state of California. He made a trip to Central America. I'm like, wait a minute, you're the governor of California. Shouldn't you be focusing your policy on California, not outside of the United States? You're elected to deal with domestic issues, not international issues. So why are you doing this trip to Central America for? All right. He said California is the largest community of El Salvador, right? And he flew to El Salvador. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you flying to El Salvador? Shouldn't you, if California is the largest community for El Salvador, wouldn't you be focusing on the people that's already in California, especially El Salvador people, not fly to another Salvador country? It doesn't make any sense. And everybody know what he's doing. He's trying to get himself ready for the 2024 elections. He tried to be a president, right? If I give you guys advice, do not elect this guy. He will sleep with your wife. That's a controversy that's out there. He slept with his best friend's wife, right? If you can't trust a person like that, why would you trust him to run your country, right? This guy, okay, he's going to run for 24, all right? 2024. I want to tell you guys, whoever's listening, do not vote for him. Don't be conned by him. Don't be fooled by him. All right, this guy won the governmentship illegitimately by illegal votes. That's just my opinion, and allegedly, right? My opinion, he won the California by illegally. So as soon as all the dirt comes out, it's gonna prove that California have a rigged election, big time, right? They let all these illegal immigrants vote where they're not supposed to vote at all. And we'll get to Sanctuary City later, but let's carry on. All right, this is more Democrat BS, right? This is Bernie Sanders saying that he finally admit that he's a millionaire. He said the reason why he's a millionaire because he sold 1 million books. That's why he's a millionaire. And he said if he's able to be a millionaire by selling books, you could be a millionaire too, right? Showing his hypocrisies, right? Bernie Sanders, you're selling books. What do you think? What do you think that is? That's capitalism, right? Then you say capitalism is bad. You're anti-capitalist and you're using the capitalist model. For shame on you, man. See how hypocritical Bernie Sanders is and the fraud he is? He wants to downplay capitalism and all this stuff. Say capitalism is bad, but yet again, he's profiting from capitalism by selling his worthless book. This guy never created a job in his life, never worked an honest hour in his life, never did any hard labor, and came out of nowhere bash capitalism, which capitalism is the thing that brought him out of poverty. See the logic in this party? This person, Bernie Sanders, is a fraud, man. He's a fraud straight out. He's trying to say capitalism is bad, yet again, he's profiteering off of it. Ridiculous. He just came out and said he's a millionaire, and that's most analysts, Democrat analysts, say that's by far the worst answer to give out if he's running on a platform that's anti-capitalism, right? And his supporters should already realize that. They should already woken up. Bernie Sanders is a fraud, right? Don't vote for him, right? On a lot of news, right? AG Barr went to the Intelligence Committee, right? And say that there might be some spying occurred during the 2016 election. That's the biggest news, right? And the Democrats flipped their wig. The social media flipped their wig because it's totally go against their narrative saying the collusion, right? All these years they say Donald Trump was saying that he was spied on, and the social media or the media wasn't agreeing with it. Say, how dare he said that? It's a farce, right? When the AG came out and said there might be spying or surveillance, then it came out of nowhere. Oh, AG, he's a pawn of Donald Trump. What the heck are you talking about, right? AG wasn't the first guy Donald Trump picked to be William Barr wasn't the first guy Donald Trump picked. He was the second guy because Jeff Sessions, which is a mole, right? Jeff Sessions didn't do anything for 2 years. And then AG Barr came in, and then he got a lot more things done than Jeff Sessions ever did. All right? How is that possible? And now they're bashing. First of all, you guys clear him to be AG, right? And now he don't want to say what you want to hear. Now suddenly he's a pawn for Trump. Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous. AG Barr is a well-respected guy in the community. 2-time attorney general. Okay? And now, and he's the AG for the Bush administration back in the 80s, right? How deep state then can that be? Wouldn't you think anybody who worked for Bush, right, wouldn't agree with Trump? Why would AG Barr do that? All right? I don't think AG Barr have that much in common with Trump, but he's by the book. And he's clearly said they're spying involved. Now you guys are going against him. That's ridiculous. And then social media is totally blowing their wig out, right? Which is crazy. And on Friday, right? And then this is another big news. Julian Assange was arrested in UK. He was dragged out. He was manhandled. If you see the video, he was dragged. That's the first video I saw that morning, turning on the TV. And I saw that. I'm like, wow. He looked like he'd been in the woods with beard, long hair. But he's facing, I don't know what, several years. He's people are trying to the UK are trying to extradite him to the US to face prosecution charges. When Donald Trump was asked, like, what did you feel about William Assange and WikiLeaks, he said he don't subscribe to it. He heard of it, but he don't know anything about it, right? I think that's a great answer because he want to be neutral in this because he don't know what the public gonna do because Donald Trump benefit a lot from the 2016 election due to WikiLeaks, right? WikiLeaks basically swayed the opinion by leaking all those emails, all right? And people from the left and right totally agree that Julian Assange should not be charged, right? People from the right and left, right? Get it? They all supported WikiLeaks. Okay? The only people that doesn't support WikiLeaks is the deep state people because he totally shattered their narrative. All right? Hillary Clinton, James Comey, the media, they're totally against WikiLeaks, all right? But the independent people, far left and far right, or in between, people who's not affiliated with the deep state, they got Julian Assange's back because Julian Assange he's bipartisan. He don't care whether you're liberal or Democrat or whatever. He just wanted the truth. That's what it is. But they tried to get him on the ground that he pressured Bradley Manning, now known as Chelsea. I'll call him Bradley by his birth name, right? Bradley Manning, right? He pressured him to give him the hack information, and that's how it comes about. But he just published it. I mean, in my opinion, I think he just published it. I don't know in between, but what I've heard, there's nothing wrong with publishing. Publishing is granted under the First Amendment, right? Freedom of press. But let's see how it goes. I mean, I wish all the best with Julian Assange. I don't think he did no ill will. But let's see how this turn out. Right now, he's facing a lot of charges from the deep state. Segue to another news. All right, this is regarding to Ilhan Omar. It's a very big story too. She said some disparaging comment about 9/11 victims, referring them as somebody that something. Right, that really triggered a lot of patriots out there. It's really sensitive, especially people of New York. Right, to the point where the New York Post printed out the pictures with the Twin Towers and labeled Ilhan Omar. This is that somebody that someone. All right. this is a very touchy subject, especially among the New York community, because there's some of them are still alive out today that experience this. All right, it's still sensitive. Like even 20 years away, 20 years later, and it's still sensitive to people. Okay, it's still sensitive because people have this image in their eyes, and it's like a modern day tragedy that been videotaped, right? And for her to come out, I got to scratch my nose. Excuse me, guys. For her to come out to say these kind of disparaging remarks, disrespectful things, is very disingenuous to the victims of 9/11, because she didn't realize that not only American died, but people of different nationality and race died. That's including Muslim, Hindu, Buddhism. All right, multiple races died, and religion, including her own religion. And she said all these disparaging comments, right? And on that, and another thing that had to do with her, a video just came out by her making light of Al Qaeda, right? Either supporting or some controversial video about her at Al Qaeda that she's triggered another light. And Donald Trump posted a meme about Ilhan Omar, and people went furious, saying that he's inciting violence. He's not inciting violence. He's raising patriotism. It's not inciting violence when you raise patriotism, right? And Donald Trump, he don't care, man. I don't care. Who cares about it? And Ilhan Omar, this freshman congresswoman, they're so stupid. These Democrat people, they're ruining their party right now, because even moderate Democrats realize this is a bad thing, and none of them come out to condemn Ilhan Omar. None of them at all. All right. There's Democrat that died in 9/11. How can they not resonate with that? It's not just Republican that died during 9/11. There's Democrat as well, which is ridiculous, right? Which I could go on a whole rant with that video, but I just want to get on with the news. All right. On Friday, another news happened that Donald Trump rolled out 5G. Now you guys know how I feel about 5G. I don't really like it, but I finally come to the realization that it's gonna come. We can't stop it. All right. I don't want to live with it. I hate the idea, but it's gonna be hard to fight against 5G. I mean, there's only so many things we could do. I guess I have to move to a rural area, man. I'm gonna have to later on in the future. I'm gonna have to move to like in the woods. All right. But it's gonna happen. It's too much big of a conglomerate. Too many conglomerates trying to push this thing out. All right. So there's only a few ways we could fight it, and we have to take charge of our own life and just move away from it, because we can't prevent these people from stop posting receptors or transmitters up in their light poles. But that's my opinion. But you guys could do something else. But in my opinion, I have to move out. I can't deal with this, and we can't change it right now. So we have to live with it. We don't have to live with it, but we can't change it, right? We could just move out. But yeah, that's one thing I'm very upset about Donald Trump pushing this 5G agenda. And during the 5G agenda, he also discussed about illegal aliens. He made this remark that maybe we should send all these illegal aliens to sanctuary cities, and that totally triggered a bunch of Democrats, right? Especially these Democrats that live in sanctuary cities. I mean, the reason why Trump said that is he's showing their hypocrisy. Now the true colors come out. They said, this Democrat, they're saying, we want these illegals. We will invite them with open arms. But now when Trump said, all right, we'll give it to you guys, and now they don't want it. They're like, you're using them as political pawn. I was like, wait a minute, Democrats, weren't you the ones that you invite them with open arms? I know how it is. You invite them with open arms, but not in your city. You put it in you'll put it in this disenfranchised city, like in the ghetto, but you're not willing to bring them in like Sonoma Valley, right? The wine country or anything like that. You're not willing to bring them in. No Beverly Hills, no Brentwood, no Pacific Palisades, nothing like that. We'll see how it is, right? All right, they don't want it. They want illegal immigrants, but they don't want illegal immigrants. See the logic of these Democrats are? Trump is using this political game against them. They don't see that. They're stupid. They're falling for his trap. All right, these Democrats, they don't understand and realize that Donald Trump is just showing their hypocrisy. They could just say nothing, but they had to say something. They're totally hypocritical about this now. All right. First they want it, and now they don't want it. First they want to bring him in, and now they don't want to bring him in. It's okay to bring him into the ghetto, but it's not okay to bring him into a high rich area. They don't know what they want, this Democrat Party, right? So that completely triggered their mind, right? Furthermore, Trump, this is a big ruling. Trump won the Ninth Circuit ruling saying illegal immigrants have to, when they get the court date, they have to go back to Mexico, right? These asylum seekers. And that's how it's supposed to be, all right? You don't come, before you get into the United States, it's like, it's retarded. It's like, scratch my nose. I'm sorry about that, guys. It's like going to college, right? It's like going to college. All right, say, all right. Before you get accepted, you could take our classes, but you had not accepted to our school yet. So why are you taking the classes if you hadn't accepted to the university? That's like getting admitted to USC or UCLA, which you have bad track records, right? Get admitted to UCLA, take all the classes, but again, you're not officially a student. That's how this immigration, that's how this asylum thing is. Like, before now, not before, right? That's how it was before. You get to before you get asylum, you get to stay in our country. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? It only makes sense if before you get asylum, you have to stay where you came from first. And then when you've been vetted properly, then you can come in. Like in university. You have to meet all the requirements first, right? Meet all the requirements first, the prerequisite, then you could come as an official student, right? Which is ridiculous. Democrat, oh my God. So that's a big win, all right? That's a big win in the Ninth Circuit. And the Ninth Circuit is historically not liberal, right? Because most of the judges are appointed by Obama. The Ninth Circuit are basically the circuit court that's run California and the West Coast, all right? But this is a miracle. I can't believe Trump won in the Ninth Circuit, which is, wow. I was surprised at that because Ninth Circuit, you would not think that he will win anything in the Ninth Circuit. But miracle does happen, I think. But anyway, that's all the news for now for this week in review. If you like what I do, want to support, just subscribe or find me on social media, Twitter, get.ai. I'm not monetized, so YouTube will not monetize me because I'm spitting all the facts right now. So if you want to support me, do that because of that, I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. That means I'm not bounded by any entity out there. So this is an independent channel. All right, but on that note, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comment below. This is the Highly Evolved Podcast, week in review. This is Safan. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace.